What's his name again?
Ted Danson. Fuck, it's a nightmare. My memory's going as bad as yours.
Terrible.
Nightmare.
Terrible. I have menopause as an excuse. What do you have?
Alcohol.
This needs to be an outtake.
Welcome to that 80s show, and if your knees hurt because of the wet weather, this is the place for you. You found a home.
My knees hurt without wet weather. Can I still be here?
Dori, you're welcome, of course, to the little safe space on the internet. If you love 80s, you love nostalgia. If you love dad jokes. If your kids make fun of your clothes.
If your kids make fun of you, full stop.
If you own clothes older than your kids and they're in varsity. If you haven't changed your fashion sense since varsity, then this is the show for you.
I say yes to all of the above.
I saw a lot of people for whom this show is for.
Yes, do tell, because I was not there.
Can you give you a little bit of a, what's it, like a concert review?
Yes, I want to hear all about it. I had FOMO.
Let's rock review. So let's just say we are in, somebody said to me, Paulo, you are going to a lot of concerts lately.
No, you're not. You're only going to 80s things.
What? That's it. I'm like, finally, well, because we're finally on the roster of the retro tour guys, right?
Yes, finally.
And I think this might be the last few for at least the summer period, because then they start doing cruises in European summer. They start doing festivals. They start going to places like Azerbaijan to do their concerts, Lithuania. Lovely places. It is weird. Like when we were kids, like Lithuania was like, ugh. Now
it feels
Lithuania.
like Siberia.
Yeah.
Siberia is still Siberia.
It's still Siberia.
Yeah.
But Lithuania, Latvia,
Croatia.
You're like, oh, why would people go to those places? They're fantastic places. So all the retro people go and they go around in South Africa. They realize, well, there's a market there. We're going to do concerts in South Africa. And the latest one was this past weekend in Johannesburg. I think there was one in each of the major cities.
Yes.
But I went to the Johannesburg one on Saturday, featuring PJ Powers and Cindy Alter from Clout. Fantastic professionals.
Yes.
Fantastic professionals, those two. Both obviously hits in the 80s. But we're there to see Midge and Thompson Twins. Right?
Well, a Thompson twin.
A Thompson twin. Oh, and I got something to say about that.
Yes.
So
because there were three of them.
Okay. So when you go to these concerts, they're actually, I love them, right?
I know you love the venue, you love the vibe, you love the whole day.
I love the behavior of people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like when people are noisy and they're irritating, and it's just, I don't like that. I like people to be responsible and well behaved. Old, basically.
Yes.
I was lucky I got VIP area tickets, but no VIP parking or anything like that.
But you don't need VIP parking there. The parking's never a problem.
No, sometimes it can be a problem. So here's what I learned, right?
Right.
When you go to that venue early, so it's at Marks Park, so it's a sports club normally. When you go to that venue early...
There's things happening.
Oh, yeah, that as well. They can only start at 12 and they have to finish by 8 because the residents complain and they've got other things happening.
There's archery.
Archery there, yes, true. Archery.
I know.
So you go and you don't fuck with a person with a bow and arrow.
No.
You know, let them shoot. Let them shoot their shots. No, there is a problem with parking. If you get there too early, they make you park right in the bottom corners of the field.
Yes, and then you're the last one to come out.
So what we did is, because like I didn't really want to see the earlier bands. I was there for the 80s band, so I went later. I had the most non-VIP parking. I even parked on cement.
Oh, wow.
It was an actual parking next to the clubhouse.
Huh.
The concert finished 8 o'clock, 8:30. 8:30.
Late.
I was on the road out already on my way home by 8:36.
Amazing.
Okay, that's how fantastic my parking was. That was a win for me. I love shit like that there. When you go get beer, when you go get drinks, never a queue, no one fights. Everyone's like quite drunk. Quite drunk. no fights, no hassles.
They know how to put on a party because they've got the longest concession is the bar. It's just tent after tent after tent after tent to avoid queues. And it works.
That's it. Payments quick. Be careful when the bar staff say, can I add a tip? And you say, sure. And they say, can I add 20? It's not 20 Rand.
20%.
It's 20%. I learned that the hard way. Okay. So be careful of that. It was quite funny. It was hosted by or media partners with one of the radio stations, and friends of mine who are presenters on that station. I was, chatting to them by the bar. And, you and I have been around radio people for a while, and you always notice when fans are milling because they want to talk to them.
Yes.
So you kind of like get that sense. You probably notice it more than the radio people do, right? Because it's just so you like kind of like step back and let them go, okay, well, I talk to you all the time. Go talk to...
Do your selfie.
Yes, do yourself, do your thing. It was so funny with this crowd. Each guy that came to talk to them was drunker and pinker than the last. The demographic of that crowd was definitely majority pink.
But
Pink skin colored, like not white.
no.
Pink. Sunburnt on a cloudy day, but it happened.
Drunk and sunburnt.
And it wasn't sunburn, it was beer burn. It was internal burn. A thing my wife noticed, she said, what's actually great about coming to concerts like this? People are watching the concert and not with their phones out the whole time filming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I said, you know why? Because you're going to have those fucked up selfie views because everyone thinks they're filming the stage, but they got the selfie camera on and they're just filming themselves for like 45 minutes.
Or you filming and all you're filming is everybody else with their arms up in the camera. Like that's all you can see is arms and cameras.
But it was a notable thing because shit, you're actually right. Like people are actually watching a concert old school.
Because us old people, we know we're never watching that footage again.
Who ever watches that shit? It's like that. And then I was at Santon Square a few weekends ago, and they've got this like really nice light thing out in the square.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Everyone walks out and they're like filming it. It's like literally, where the fuck are you going to put that? When are you going to watch it?
Oh, they're going to put it on the gram.
Oh, fuck them. Fuck them and their grams. You know what gram I like?
Yeah.
Telegrams.
Okay, but you haven't even mentioned the music yet from this
We're
concert.
getting there, Dori. I'm giving you a holistic explanation.
Okay, I thought you were segueing into another thing about telegrams.
I thought Midge was going to close out because it makes sense for Midge.
Yeah.
No, Thompson Twins closed out. And I found that weird because...
Yeah, I would have thought that Midge was bigger.
Midge closing out with Vienna.
Yeah.
That would have been
epic,
right? So talented. He played keyboard. He played guitar. Played guitar.
Has he aged well?
Because he was always old.
Yeah.
He always looked old.
Yeah.
I think when he was kind of younger, he was bald with a ponytail or balding with a ponytail. Looked older than he looks now.
Yeah.
Great sense of humor, Scottish brogue. Of course, everyone thinks they're hilarious. Then they start, the crowd starts speaking Scottish. We're not in a generation that's at that concert that's sensitive to those things.
No.
We're going to be very stereotypical and offensive.
So which songs did he do?
He did
from all the bands.
Do you know, it's people that were with me, they're like, oh, I don't know, he did all the songs from all the bands.
Yeah.
They were kind of like he did
Fanta Grape.
He did. People were like, oh, I don't know, he did the song. I don't know. And when I said, but he kind of produced Do They Know It's Christmas? Because he was talking about Live Aid.
Yeah.
And they're like, why is he talking about Live Aid? I was like, well,
one of the dudes, man.
He was the guy. He made it happen in 36 hours. Like, he did it. He was great. Really good performer, lots of energy.
How's the voice?
Fantastic.
Cool.
This is the thing. Like,
okay, now my FOMO's much worse. Thanks.
Yeah, no, Midge was fantastic. And I just felt that if you closed out the encore song with Vienna, it was, Dori, how would you imagine Vienna being?
Well, this is the thing. It could go either way live, right? Like either it's epic and an immersive experience, or it's like, oh no, it sounds better when you just listen to the CD.
That's why I think it would have been better for him to close it because it would have been dark.
Yeah, so was it epic?
And I think if it was dark, then, but it was still like it was sunset. So it didn't have that thing. I got proof that Vienna is such an epic song and so unruinable that, there's kind of like it's got the clap, clap.
Yeah.
Clap, clap.
Like from the first note, did the crowd go mad?
You know what? The thing with most people in that, so let me finish the clap, clap thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, people are out of tune. Previously mentioned pink people that used to be white. No rhythm.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying, like if luckily he just ignores everybody because people were like fucking
Yeah.
misclapping, 3-clapping. It was quite funny
You
to
can't
watch.
get drunk white people to do shit like that, man.
No, well, he didn't encourage it. They
Yeah.
just started doing it.
Right,
You know?
okay.
Yeah, what was
He's
your
probably used to a lot of drunk white people in the audience. Let's be honest.
Yes,
I mean,
let's
Scottish.
be honest. Yeah, you know, I mean, exactly. Oh, sorry, what was your question? I
My
forgot.
question was, did people go mad from the first note? Did they know? Oh my God, it's Vienna.
No, people don't
was
know.
Was it the encore?
No, this is, so Vienna was his, it wasn't an encore, it was just his last song.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it was coming. The funny thing about these retro concerts that I always notice is people actually don't know the songs until it's getting close to the chorus. Then they, unless
that's so funny.
You get the true fans. I mean, there was one dude, he was even 80s dancing.
Oh,
like this
amazing.
guy, this guy definitely, when he got his weekend pass from the army, he was definitely going to Hillbrow. Finally, he was dancing to Ultravox.
Yeah.
Because he was 80s dancing. And
he was Bill and Napoli downstairs.
that's a Dori. And he was Bill. Exactly. That's how this dude was dancing. And he was so legit. He knew every word. But everyone else is kind of like, oh, that song. Then they dance. You're like, fuck, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, not everyone's us. Not everyone's anoraks. No. And then Thompson Twins, right? So I was like, is it the entire band? Because it actually just says...
No, they said Tom Bailey.
Tom Bailey, Thompson Twins, Tom Bailey, Thompson Twins. And I was trying to make out, but then he brings out, then he now introduces who's in the band.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell, because there was a blonde lady playing the drums, and then somebody did look. I was like, surely he's not still going to have the dreadlocks. But anyway,
I don't even know who the other people in the band were.
not twins.
Yes, I know.
None of them look related.
I remember there were three main people, though.
Not Bros. Not Bros.
Thank goodness for that.
He introduces and they're all young ladies, and it's like all wearing white. So they're either all part of his harem, or his nurses.
But he looked good from the photos. He looked
no. He looked good. Energy.
Which songs did they do?
All
Did
of
they
them?
do my favorite, Hold Me Now?
So that was listen, that was quite epic. Was it playing Hold Me Now, like as the last song?
Oh,
He played If You Were Here from 16 Candles.
cool.
Yeah, I think that was like, nobody got it,
Yeah.
you know. I was like, that's pretty cool of him. Them, I don't know. But it was always fun, Dori. It's always great. Now, we've heard rumors. So again, breakout concerts, well done to you.
Yes.
You always know how to bring
Between
them up.
them and Howler, they know how to put on a concert, eh?
I don't know
The
what.
toilets are always good.
Yeah, toilets
All
are
the
good.
things you need.
Yeah, that's it.
Food, drink, toilets, nice people.
In and out early, finish early.
Decent parking.
In bed by 9.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Give us more free tickets.
Give us anything.
No,
Like, I feel
we
like,
do appreciate it.
I feel we give them a lot of love.
We do.
You know, I have
Yeah.
to source my tickets from elsewhere.
You do.
You know, but we heard rumors about the next ones coming. We won't forget to tell you when we find out who that is. You're definitely going to be at that one.
Oh,
There's no doubt about. There's no doubt about that, Dori.
as long as I'm still alive and kicking, yeah.
Well played. Well played. You know, it's also funny is seeing people come in fancy dress. Like, why?
To the concert.
You're a grown person. Inevitably, at these concerts, there will always be pockets of people dressed in 80s clothes and matching hats and T-shirts. They get T-shirts and hats printed specifically. That's dedication.
Wow.
Like, it's not like an epic. Like, yes, I mean, it's a multi-band lineup. You're not seeing
Yeah.
like Rolling Stones reformed that you need a T-shirt.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Eh.
Anyway, so it brings quite nicely to you saying we're talking about a band and hinting a band. We said, because the Thompson Twins song that they sang there is not really the song that you're going to associate with 16 Candles, right? But you spoke about Simple Minds. I got a list here, Dori, of songs that 80s movies and songs that will always be linked together. Some of them you are really, really going to get. It's so easy. We're going to start off at number 10, Stand By Me by Benny King for the movie Stand By Me.
Of course.
Of course, you're going to do that. Stand By Me, Rob Reiner, Stephen King movie or Stephen King book. Not a horror movie.
No.
No, it's
Psychological.
yeah. They find it's a couple of kids. They find a dead body of a kid that was kind of their age, and they go poke him with a stick.
That's exactly what happens in the movie.
Stand By Me. It followed a lot of what was happening in 80s movies set in the 50s.
Yes.
We saw that a lot. I've had the time of my life, will always be associated with Dirty Dancing.
I think it was made for the movie. I don't think it's from anywhere else.
It was made with the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something. Actually, I'm going to flip this for the last 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to name either the song or the movie and you guess which song it is.
Let's go.
Let's see how accurate this is. So the next one is, the final 6 episodes of Cobra Kai are out. Okay. I know every time it comes out. No. But the reviews are saying, if you loved the first ones because of Johnny, you're going to love these because they're Johnny. It's resetting all the wrongs.
Can I pick up, though? I've missed like the whole middle.
Let me tell you what's happened.
Okay.
Everybody has joined dojos and everybody has crisscrossed dojos. And at one point, everyone's been good, everyone's been bad. They fought each other in Barcelona. They fought each other in schools. They fought each other everywhere. You miss literally nothing. If you take it from maybe those first few episodes to the final 6,
I'll be fine.
Miss nothing. Miss nothing. Creases there. It's just you miss nothing. Okay, you won't be confused. And I'm kind of go, because I love Johnny, Johnny Lawrence. Anyway, so talking Karate Kid.
Yes. Which
song is associated with the Karate Kid?
The Peter Cetera song.
Interesting, Dori.
Oh, am I wrong?
Interesting, because they actually say it's You're the Best by Joe Esposito.
That was going to be my next guess.
Because that's the montage one.
I didn't know the band, but I was going to be that one that goes, You're the Best. That one.
Okay, because that's the montage one.
Song, yeah.
The Peter Cetera is good.
The Peter Cetera was, I think, the end credits, probably.
But, I mean, you got to go with the montage one.
Yeah.
80s, you need a montage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one is too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast Club.
Yes, Simple Minds, don't you forget about me.
Do you know what coming up in March, the 40th anniversary, the day of the Breakfast Club?
Right.
In March. I've got a whole bunch of Breakfast Club content for the show that week. Hope I remember it.
I will remind you.
But it's a day in March.
I'll make sure you don't forget.
40 years. Okay, fine. I think we've done that enough now. I think we can move on. The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News.
That would be Back to the Future.
Well done. It would indeed be Back to the Future. Again, I think also made.
We did a thing on that. There was a whole thing on that in Ray Parker Jr.
Yes.
An earlier show, which I don't remember.
I think Huey Lewis and the News also did a song called Back in Time. That was the one they did for Back to the Future. Yeah. They did that one. Ooh, again, so easy. Flashdance.
What a feeling. Irene Cara.
Everyone goes with Flashdance. What a feeling.
Is it Maniac?
That's mine.
Maniac is also mine.
That's mine. But I like that people don't really associate it because you can like have that little, Michael Sambanello.
I don't know.
You're going to have it to yourself.
Leg warmers. That's all.
They're getting really easy. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get Dori to guess either the song or the movie. I'm going to give you the name of the band on this one.
Because it's too easy.
And then you're going to have to give me the movie and the song. The band is Berlin.
No, but that's wrong. So it's Top Gun and it's Take My Breath Away, right?
You're gonna argue for Kenny Loggins.
Of course I'm going to argue for Kenny Loggins. The Berlin song's a shit song. Kenny Loggins rules.
Again, it's like the You're the Best one. Because Top Gun is an action movie.
Yes, you need the Kenny Loggins-ness of it.
And that's what you need. You need Highway to the Danger Zone. You need Playing with the Boys.
Right.
Love story song. But see, what they've done here is like you went with the Peter Cetera for Karate Kid.
Yeah.
They've gone with the love story one. I don't know. This is debatable, this one.
Look, I mean, we'll always know that song because of the movie. That song wouldn't have been so big without the movie.
Okay, maybe that's the discretion here.
Yeah.
Because Berlin were like a one-hit wonder.
Like no one would have cared about that song.
Not from Germany at all. Not from Germany.
Not.
In the slightest. But you're right, because Kenny Loggins he's famous from being Kenny Loggins.
But I'm going to guess that Footloose is coming up, and that's the Kenny Loggins song. I'm going to guess.
Oh, they can't go too heavy on Kenny Loggins.
Yeah. Even though he did all the movies.
Well, look, you did jump to number one, so of course it is Footloose by
And
Kenny
of course,
Loggins.
I would say, while of course that song is associated with the movie, so is Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero.
I associate Bonnie Tyler holding out for a hero for the TV show The Highwayman.
There's that too.
And Shrek.
Yeah.
I think Shrek 2.
And there's also Let's Hear It for the Boy from Footloose.
Well, Dori, I mean, Footloose, it's called Footloose.
Exactly.
So this is a list of songs
I'll
associated.
accept that one. I'll accept it. I'm just saying the whole Footloose soundtrack is better than the movie.
Yeah.
By far.
Probably. And then the last one, of course, is what we learned a few weeks ago is that the song only appeared in the third installment of this movie. It wasn't there from the beginning.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger from Rocky 3. But although you associate them with all the Rockies.
Absolutely.
From Rocky 1.
True.
This is called the most phenomenal link because we've spoken about music at a concert. We then spoke about the band singing a song that was in 16 Candles. And then, so we did that, and then we spoke about movies. And now we're going to talk about our movies for the week. Professionals, Dori.
We are.
This is why we win awards for our artwork and for our content or hosting or anything else. So every week we go to the video stores of our minds, sometimes the podcast apps of our minds, sometimes the comic books of our minds. Dori.
I have a movie.
Dori has a movie. Is this the movie you said you've had for weeks?
No.
Okay. Well, let's find out what movie Dori will be recommending this week as I open up my running order to see what else is coming up in the show and be a little bit more better prepared than I'm sounding.
So this week I decided to remember, no, let me actually go backwards. My movie this week, I probably saw on the big screen when it came out. It came out in 1987, which means it probably came out in 1988, maybe 1989. I would definitely have made an effort to go see this movie because of the cast. I don't remember what I felt about it. When I rewatched it last night, I found it a bit meh. It was not what I expected. That being said, great cast. And there are shenanigans. And shenanigans will always save a movie. I'm going to give you the supporting cast before I give you the two main cast members.
Is it a movie you think I've seen?
You may or may not have seen it. But you definitely know of it.
Right.
Okay. Let me put it to you this way. This movie presents itself as a romantic comedy. And yet it becomes a crime caper.
Okay. Doesn't
like so many 80s movies.
Exactly.
I know. I'm going to give you the supporting cast first, which, I mean, phenomenal names here. Harvey Keitel.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Hopper.
Ooh.
Lorraine Bracco.
Okay.
Danny Aiello.
Yes.
That's enough of the supporting cast.
The
others you won't know.
cast.
That's the supporting cast.
Gee whiz.
If I tell you the main two cast members, you may or may not be able to guess this movie. I'm going to guess you're not going to be able to guess it. The main two stars of this movie are Robert Downey Jr. and Molly Ringwald.
I had this movie on my list because it was a Robert Downey Jr. anomaly movie. And I don't know the name of the movie, but I am aware that there's a movie with Molly Ringwald and Robert Downey Jr. as the leads.
Yes. It's called The Pickup Artist.
There we go. Thank you. That's it. Yes. Never watched it.
Not a great movie.
Okay.
Not a great movie. Like, obviously, you can just perv on Robert for the whole movie. Molly Ringwald looks really good in this movie. So remember, this is a few years after.
It was her birthday recently, I think.
Yeah, so this is a few years after Breakfast Club. I'm going to remind you that in Breakfast Club, Molly was literally 16. She played a 16-year-old. Yeah. She was 16 in real life. In this movie, she is 19 in real life, playing a 19-year-old.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is 22 in real life in this movie, playing a 22-year-old.
Right.
In this movie. They're playing their own age. They look their age. They're great.
Okay.
They look beautiful.
We've had this conversation before, but why did Molly Ringwald never become it?
She chose not to. She chose to not. Although, I mean, she did a fair amount, and she's doing quite a bit now still, actually. But remember, she also is a singer, hey?
Okay, so let's talk about The Pickup Artist.
Yeah. I think she wanted to focus on her singing, but that didn't really take off. The pickup artist it starts out, I mean, just the whole opening credit sequence is one of those that just goes on forever and ever and ever. And like the movie's already started while the credits are on. And it's Robert Downey Jr. He's come out of the shower. He's wiped the mist off the mirror and he's flirting into the mirror. He's practicing his flirting lines because this is what he does. He is a playboy of note.
Womanizer, it says.
He is a woman. That is correct. He is a womanizer. It is, remember,
constantly honing his craft, it says.
And the opening credits is him honing his craft, where he is practicing his pickup lines in the mirror.
Right.
He also carries around with him a piece of paper and a pen where he writes down the phone numbers of all the women that he meets and gets their numbers.
Right.
Then he meets Molly. And all of a sudden his world is turned upside down.
He's going to give up his philandering ways.
Well, what happens is, first of all, a lot of the women play hard to get at first, and he kind of likes the challenge.
Okay.
She does not play hard to get it. She's like, yes, I'm keen, let's go.
Very un-Molly Ringwaldish.
Yeah. So I think he's a little bit like stunned by that, and it throws him off his game, perhaps. He gets entangled in the shenanigans of her life, which involve the fact that her and her father owe a crime boss lots of money.
Right.
And he's threatening them. This is where the shenanigans come in. There's gambling. Her dad was like a really big blackjack player. That's probably why he's in so much debt.
How bad was he at blackjack?
He's also an alcoholic.
Right.
This is the Dennis Hopper plays the dad. Really, really great. She goes to gamble to try and get more money to pay off the debt. She's sometimes successful, she sometimes isn't. For me, that was a bit of a weird part of the storyline because she comes across as this really sweet girl, and then she's like at the horse races and she's at the casino,
but driven by desperation. Yeah,
it's never really explained exactly how the debt came about because she's pretty damn good. But I think it is implied that it's her dad's debt, and that's why he's an alcoholic. And basically, he just became, I guess, a loser or whatever you want to call it. And Robert Downey Jr. decides he needs to come in and save her. Now, there are parts of this movie that are so dated in terms of she agrees to go off with him in the beginning, and then she's like, okay, we're done. You can go away now. And he stalks her. He literally runs after her to catch her. And he pitches up at her work. And it's extremely stalkerish behavior, which you would never see in a movie today because it's like, oh, that is so toxic. But in the 80s, that's just what people did.
I'm reading something here in that the original choice for the main actor wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
Can I guess that it was Patrick Dempsey?
Okay, so you don't know this. So
no.
The writer and director of the film wrote the part for Warren Beatty, who liked the script, but he said, I'm never going to play a character driven by his erotic compulsions, and that nobody's going to believe that I chase women. Women chase me. And then they decided they want somebody younger.
Yeah.
But Warren Beatty, so that's how you talk about the inappropriateness. It's like Warren Beatty went, no, I'm not going to do that.
Warren Beatty chasing after Molly Ringwald would have been extremely inappropriate.
Hopefully
she was 19,
hopefully
remember?
they would have had an older actress then.
Maybe, yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. really works in the role because, I mean, while I think he is magnificent, he's not like the hottest guy. He's a little bit awkward and he's like, so he's cute. He's really cute and he gets away with that cuteness. And also in the movie, he's looking after his old grandmother and it's just so sweet.
Okay.
He's like, they show that he's like a really nice guy and all that kind of stuff.
Just likes the sex.
He likes a lot of sex. What must happen? Anyway, it's a watchable movie. It's not great. I certainly wouldn't slot it into the other Brat Pack, considering that he is considered part of the Brat Pack movies from the 80s. Brat
Pack adjacent movie, the genre of Brat Pack adjacent.
Yeah, but it's really not that great. There's not much to the story.
And let me assume it all ends. Let me guess what happens.
Guess what happens.
That at some point Robert Downey Jr. himself gambles to try win money to pay off the debt, and that gets him in debt.
No.
And they drive the gangsters, the mob guys, off a pier.
That would have been better. That
Okay.
would have been a much more interesting storyline. No.
Oh.
He helps her through gambling to win money. He sells his car. His car is a big feature of him in the movie. He sells his car to get some money that they then gamble. They win. They pay off the debt. And then they end up together.
So he's now trying to help her with her addiction and the dad's addiction. Who's helping him with his sex addiction?
Oh, yeah. No, that's not a thing, obviously. It's not a problem.
No, because in the 80s, there's no such thing as sex addiction.
Well,
You're just Warren Beatty.
Actually, in theory, Molly helps him with his sex addiction because once he meets her, he actually tears up his list. He tears up his list of all the numbers from all the other girls.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't need this anymore. You are the one I want to be with.
Doesn't mean he's still not a sex addict.
Look, in real life.
He could just be like lighting those 16 candles all day, if you know what I mean.
In real life, even though he would have said, I want to be with you for the rest of my life, in real life, let's be honest, this scenario, they would not have ended up together forever.
Molly Ringwald is not keeping Robert Downey Jr. happy for too long. I'd say that's not happening, right? It's not believable. Who knows? Maybe she's a bit of a freak. I think I've veered wildly off topic here.
Yeah, I know. Like, the whole Molly Ringwald thing, people are divided on it. She does look very pretty in this movie.
Okay.
A lot of people think, ugh. But Harvey Keitel is great as the villain.
Okay, so I was going to ask, who is he?
Of course, he's the guy who's coming after the money. He's like, you owe me the money or else I'm going to kill you. Yeah, the usual.
All right.
The usual.
Okay, so fine. Good. Thank you for the movie.
You're welcome. Now you can take it off your list.
The pickup artist. It was there because I was like, oh, that's interesting that those two would be in there.
It's watchable.
At a stage where they were quite bankable, where they would get people.
I think it probably didn't do as well as was expected, considering the cost. It just didn't do that well.
Is it one of those that came out like the weekend of like something huge?
Possibly.
Must have been one of those. It was also kind of like everyone trying to jump on the John Hughes bandwagon.
Yes.
Kind of like every studio going, we need a John Hughes movie. We need our own Breakfast Club.
And it's not John Hughes.
No.
At all. I mean, it is trying, but it does not succeed.
When I said it was Molly Ringwald's birthday the other day, I also said it was John Hughes. I saw him and John Hughes and Molly Ringwald, their birthdays like a day apart.
Ah.
Hence the museness.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Those days we called it muse. These days we call it grooming. It's true.
Yeah.
Fuck. So then I feel sorry for people who came this week hoping for a movie to find because I'm very upset about my movie.
Oh, was it also a disappointment?
So upset. So I told you last week that I've like kind of uncovered this new world of Howie Mandel movies.
Oh.
It's covered back up. Covered back. I'm not going
You're
further.
done.
I'm done.
Was it that bad?
2 in and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I did all of Burt Reynolds' 80s movies.
You did.
I persevered through all of them. And Howie Mandel, I can't even get.
Did you manage to get through this movie?
So the entire thing is on YouTube. I told you about it last week. I was interested by it because it was Ted Danson and Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
So I was like, again, interesting matchup. I looked into some things that Howie Mandel does. It was Bobby's World. I said Rocco's Modern Life last week. It was a TV show called Bobby's World that he is in. And then you got Ted Danson, who is like Sam Malone.
Was this pre or post Sam Malone? I'm guessing pre.
Post Sam Malone?
Post?
No. You see what you did there? Post Sam Malone? Actually, that amuses me on a lot of levels.
Is it post Malone or pre Malone?
Show title. It is 1986. So where is he in the world?
I feel like that's
he's Sam Malone. He's mid Malone. And I think he's 3 men and a baby. As Dori quickly Googles.
Would you like me to confirm?
Quickly Google that.
Okay, he was Sam Malone from 1982 to 1993.
Shit.
This was very much mid Malone.
Mid Malone. Fucking hell. We're
That's
peak.
a long time.
So not post or pre,
No,
peak Malone.
mid. Peak.
Peak.
Peak
We've got
Malone.
to keep the P's. And then where was Three Men and a Baby in that? I mean, this movie must have come out just after Three Men and a Baby, or just before, or Three Men and a Little. I think Three Men and a Little Lady was later in the 80s.
Yeah, so Three Men and a Little Lady was actually in 1990.
Yeah.
Three Men and a Baby, 1987.
Okay, so, but that was his big movie. When
Was that
in
his breakout?
When he was in that movie with Whoopi Goldberg, since you're there. Remember he has one with her?
Which movie was Whoopi Goldberg?
I'm pretty sure it was like I'm pretty sure it was a body swap thing where they...
Made in America.
That's the one.
That's 1993.
And because that was the one where he's a sperm donor. Wasn't he a sperm donor to Whoopi Goldberg's character?
A young black woman discovers that her father was a sperm donor, and if that weren't bad enough, he's white.
Yeah.
Huh?
Progressive for the time. Okay, so let's see. We're speaking about so many other movies because...
And all 90s things.
To avoid talking about my movie.
Okay.
My movie, the title, you should know, is actually the perfect example or the perfect way to describe this movie. So starring Howie Mandel, starring Ted Danson, and here's why I was interested, directed by Blake Edwards, who did the Pink Panther movies.
And lots of good things.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Pink Panther alone is like the guy's a comedic genius. He even got Henry Mancini to do the score.
Wow.
The guy who did the Pink Panther theme. So you go, oh, so many things. Again, last week we spoke about the movie Walk Like a Man that had a really long, tight, like payoff line.
Yeah.
The payoff line, anguished by anxiety, plagued by paranoia, confounded by confusion, you need comic relief fast, fast, fast. That's on the poster. Ted Danson and Howie Mandel in a movie called... And a movie rated as A Fine Mess.
I remember seeing it on the video shop shelves. Is it a fine mess? Hey?
Was it eye level, knee level, foot level,
Possibly
or around
shin
the
level.
corner?
Shin level.
Shin level. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely...
I do remember it though.
Yeah. You got to like, that's...
I don't think I ever watched it.
And you're scanning through, so that movie's out, good movie's out, good movie's out, good movie's out. Fuck, I'm going down. Oh, fuck, I'm really getting low. Oh, no. Second bottom shelf. Fuck. Okay, let me take it. That's where this movie sits. So
I don't remember ever watching it.
Dori, almost exactly the same plot as your movie. I found this fantastic website called TV Tropes. And what they do is they review movies, but under the guise of all the tropes. And then they rate it of how many tropes it had. The list of tropes in this movie is like hundreds of pages long because it's just so derivative and just like so paint by numbers, done by AI type of thing. So it follows your movie so much. So Ted Danson is kind of like he wants to be an actor. He's like got bit parts. He's normally like a background extra, but he's also a con artist and mostly tries to con women.
Right.
To sleep with rich women and then get them to support him. And then he's got a friend, Howie Mandel, who works at a restaurant something or other. He's not really a valet, but he's kind of like in that ballpark of what a valet would be. And let me read the plot of this. They stumble upon a horse doping plot, right? And while he's Sam Malone, yeah, I'll call him Sam Malone. While he's busy hanging around at a race course, he finds out about this horse racing plot that these guys are doping horses, then betting on the horses, then the horses win. Right?
Right.
So they're now scared that he's going to now out them. So the head boss, their boss, says, go find this guy, you got to kill him. Unbeknownst, Sam Malone is bonking this gangster's wife.
Oh.
He's seducing her, she's seducing them.
Who is she played by?
She is played by Maria Conchita Alonso.
Okay.
Paul Savino's also in this.
Huh.
He's good at playing gangsters.
Yeah.
They are now being chased by gangsters. They buy a piano. I don't understand what the piano has to do anything, but it's about
what you do in the 80s. You buy a piano.
There's something in the piano that other people want. The horse gets out. They're riding the horse through the town. The horse dies because it's got too much drugs in it. Howie Mandel's got the side quest of he wants to open a Indian restaurant called Gandhi's even though he's never eaten Indian food before. And the first date he goes on to eat Indian food, he has this like reaction to how hot it is.
Sounds like there's too many plot lines.
It's yet none. Yet none. Yeah.
Yeah.
We asked why your movie failed. This movie failed because when two of the bigger actors, right? So Paul Sorvino and Maria Conchita Alonso, I don't know who she was, but she was obviously doing press for it. When they went to go promote the movie, they spoke about, so they were being booked on talk shows to promote this movie.
Yeah.
Spoke about other stuff they were doing, the other movies, the upcoming movies.
Oh, they were like, it's a mess.
Blake Edwards says like if he had known what he knew, he would never have touched this movie. Like it was a studio gig. Like he's like, okay, I've got the Cheers guy, but
yeah.
And you know, normally I can find something good in really bad movies. I mean, I loved Miami Connection, for example. This is so bad.
There's nothing, no redeeming quality whatsoever.
It's just terrible.
Does Howie Mandel still have big hair?
Big hair. He's so obnoxious. He's so annoying. So where he was kind of passable in Walk Like a Man, I liked him as a dog, kind of. I can't stand him. His character is just the worst. Ted Danson's character has some nice 80s clothes and nice 80s hair.
Geez, now you're really reaching, hey?
Oh, there's a point where Howie Mandel's character, they have to try to get out of the house because the gangsters find him in the house and they're all in the house, and he dresses Howie Mandel up as the maid, and then in like a
ridiculous
French maid's outfit. Then
I remember liking something that Howie Mandel did in the 80s. I'm going to find it and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to review it because there was something that there was something else. He might have not been the main star.
Maybe.
He might have been like a tiny little cameo.
Maybe I killed off in the first 30 seconds.
It's
maybe
possible.
That's
it's possible, but I'm going to search for that.
This is really bad.
Okay. No, it sounds horrendous, actually.
To make up for it, I've got two options next week, actually, Dori.
Yeah.
The one is a critically acclaimed dark comedy involving S&M and swingers clubs.
Okay.
Or the other one involves a cyborg. It'd be better if that was one movie.
I was just about to say, if this was one movie, the cyborg going to the swingers club would be cool.
Which one should...
Cyborg swinging club.
Jeez. And you know...
They need lubricant.
Castrol. Get the Castrol guys up on it. Which one am I watching, Dori? You pick.
Let's go with the swingers club, and then the week after I want the cyborg.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're sorry about the movies this week.
Yeah,
but you know, sometimes you're so...
You can't always win.
And you're so close to recording time, and you're just like, I have no time to change my movie. I've watched this.
I actually wanted to do a different movie and then realized you had done it.
Oh, dear.
I wanted to do Gotcha and then realized you had done it.
What was Gotcha?
You don't even remember. Maybe I'll do... Okay, I'm not going to say another word. Maybe I'll do it again in the future.
Look, I have also got a feeling that the Swingers Club movie you've done before.
Oh, really?
But you see, how we normally know is when I go onto YouTube and I see how much we've watched the trailer, because I normally post that.
Also, we did have a document that I used to update, and I haven't been updating it, but I'm going to rectify that situation.
Dori, you know why? Because we're lazy.
We're so lazy.
Oh, I know what Gotcha is. Because now we use AI to do a lot of stuff for us, so we just know we can just go back to it.
Oh, well, it's actually, this is the thing. I can go back to the show notes, and I'll see in the AI show notes what movie there was.
Exactly.
So I'm not really keeping a list.
Also calling us That Eddie Show, which you can find everything we speak about on the show. I don't even know if we're going to post the trailers for our movies. Do you know there's not even an official trailer for my movie? That's how bad it is.
There definitely is one for mine, but it probably makes it look better than it is. I haven't actually watched it.
Okay.
I'll watch it. And
so keep an eye on That Eddie Show essay on Facebook.
I'll put it on the Facebook page.
Okay. So that's...
I'll find a good clip from the movie and put that on.
I want to wrap up with something. I was 45 years old the other day. I'm still 45 years old now, but I turned 45. But I was today years old when I discovered this next thing I'm going to tell you. When I saw this, I was like, fuck me, rip up the running order. I had something else in the section. I threw it out because I have to talk about this right now.
Yes.
You may know this. You probably do know this, but you probably do know this. I did not know this. I was today years old when I found out that Q Lazzarus, who sings Goodbye Horses, Now, Goodbye Horses, made famous by Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill. I did not know Q Lazzarus was not a man.
I did not know that.
Q Lazzarus is a woman.
I did not know that.
Fucking hell, Dori. Fucking hell. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You now go. So I wonder. I was like, oh, were we conditioned by Silence of the Lambs? Because if you don't know what song we're talking about, I recommend hit pause now.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put it in the show notes, right?
Yeah.
Go to the show notes and click on it. You'll find that's the song we're talking about. But if you think back to Silence of the Lambs, it's where Buffalo Bill is like rubbing cream on himself.
Yes.
The lotion. He's putting the lotion on its skin. And that's the song he's singing. And then it's also parodied phenomenally in Clerks.
Yes.
And it's a whole tuck situation. We got that happening.
Yeah.
Do you think that conditioned us? Because I don't remember Q Lazzarus from the 80s.
No, I thought it was a one-hit wonder. I didn't really pay any attention. Didn't look for pictures or music video or anything.
And it was very like an underground club disco thing. It wasn't a mainstream hit, as I'm about to tell you now.
Okay.
And it kind of came back in Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
And I wonder if that conditioned us to think that it was a man singing.
I never really gave it any thought.
Neither did I till I found this out.
Why did you find this out?
Okay. So now when you go back and listen to it, so obviously a big African-American woman singing, that's who Q Lazzarus is, right? So how I found this out is that they've made a documentary about Q Lazzarus called The Many Lives of Q Lazzarus. And it's a filmmaker who, I mean, how's the story? A filmmaker called Eva Fuentes got in a taxi in New York and recognized the taxi driver and said, "Are you Q Lazzarus?" How the fuck this filmmaker knew, and this exact moment
insane.
Climbs into a taxi, and then it's like, this is how it starts, and tells a story. So Q Lazzarus was born as Diane Lucky in New Jersey, and then moves to New York, 18 years old, wants to become a session singer, wants to become a big, the dream.
Yes.
And starts driving a taxi cab to make ends meet in between performing clubs and gigs and all the rest of it. While driving the taxi then in the 80s, a music producer gets in the taxi, starts swapping stories and goes, well, I'm going to feature your music. He's not a music producer. He's a film producer and director.
Yeah.
He was making movies. He said, well, I'm looking for movies. I'm looking for music for my movies. You can make some. His 2 movies were Something Wild and Married to the Mob.
Holy shit. Hang on. So there's other songs? It's not a one-hit wonder.
Right? Exactly.
Okay.
So I said, you need to make, I love what you're doing. You're going to make this.
Do you think Q Lazzarus had a cassette tape in the car playing it? I mean, how does the producer know?
In the early days of catching Ubers in Cape Town, now obviously when I'd go down to Cape Town, every address I put in is to go to a radio station because I'm going for meetings. And they're like, oh, what you doing at the radio station? So I tell them what I do.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you mind if I play you my mixtape, my demo? I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Yes, I do mind. And then I got to listen to their little USB stick or their aux cable of the music they produced.
Yeah.
Because everyone, music guys in Cape Town, probably this is what's happening.
There was a cassette tape
What you
involved.
do, oh, I'm a director. Oh, by the way, I make music.
Yeah.
And if your music's good, they're going to go, okay, shit, all right, this is meant to do. Goodbye Horses wasn't made for Silence of the Lambs. Goodbye Horses was produced independently. Then
in
pops
the
up
80s.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then pops up, they use it on Silence of the Lambs, and the rest is history. Can't really break through in America. People don't quite understand. You're a big black woman. Why aren't you singing R&B? Why are you singing this style of music? So she moves to London, gets addicted to drugs, realizes this is not going to happen. I'm out. Moves back to America. Never tells anybody about her previous life. Nothing. And starts driving a bus in Staten Island. Becomes a bus driver.
Wow.
Now, I mean, went to London, performed, and was kind of like on the scene, but never broke through. Done the song Goodbye Horses.
Yeah.
Like just goes,
Just
no,
did not
done.
capitalize on it, eh?
Even her son did not know. And he then became a driving force of it. He did not know at all that anything about her previous life, anything.
He did not know she was Q Lazzarus.
So
he knew her as Diane.
That's his mom. And then he started, like, as he got older, he started investigating and finding stuff around and going, holy shit.
Yeah.
You, like, were a
Imagine.
musician, right?
Imagine you found out one of your parents was like this underground musician.
And, like, really cool. Like I haven't had a chance to go listen to the other music that was made, but I'm
going
like,
to do that today.
I don't want to be disappointed because I love fucking Goodbye Horses.
I know, but it's okay. It's okay if it's a one-hit wonder. It's okay. I'm curious.
Fuentes, obviously now we're going back. Taxi, gonna make your movie. I love your story. And Q Lazzarus actually passed away while they were making it from sepsis.
Oh.
Yes, nobody in the hospital. So had an infection. She had an infection.
Yeah.
Nobody in the hospital picked up the sepsis. By the time they picked it up, gone through her whole body, and she died. So she died in July 2022. The movie was supposed to be a whole big comeback. They were like, people need to know about you. Your song's like this iconic underground. It's just crazy how big that song is.
Yeah.
And nobody knows the story. So the documentary comes out in March, and a soundtrack album is just been released.
Cool. I definitely want to watch that.
Today's the 21st. It comes out today.
Oh, okay.
The soundtrack album for Goodbye Horses, The Many Lives of Q Lazarus.
I'm very
Wild
curious
story.
to watch that. Very curious.
Wild story, Dori.
So cool. Geez, sounds like you did some real research for that, eh? Well done.
It's The Guardian. I was just reading The Guardian and I saw the story and I was like, fucking hell.
You
that's
went
great.
down the rabbit hole.
ChatGPT summarized this article for me. Okay. Anyway, we got to go back to our safe space because that was wild. That was a journey.
Yeah.
2 taxis and a bus.
Yeah.
New York, London, Staten Island, New Jersey. Let's go back to our safe space. The Hoff.
Okay.
Selling his house. His estate is for sale. Hoff's always trying to flip shit. He's always auctioning off his stuff.
He has lots of things.
He does.
He owns stuff.
He owns stuff and owes stuff. He's selling his house in Encino at number 5180 Lewis Avenue for $5.8 million. Dori, fantastically beautiful house.
Wow, it looks epic.
What a driveway. You could drive many a Kit replica up that driveway. We'll put this up.
Even the truck that Kit used to come out of.
I'm doing a show notes thing. So you can go to that 80 Show SA Facebook, or we're going to put stuff in show notes.
Okay.
You think we should do that for people?
I don't know. I don't know what show notes is.
This will be show notes. So when you're listening, show notes are like show enough. Show enough notes. No? Okay. So when you are playing this on your podcast app and you scroll down.
Yeah. You mean the show notes?
Yes. The show notes.
Yes.
Show enough?
Show enough.
That's still not going to work. Anyway, lovely backyard. Beautiful.
Epic pool that he could have run next to in Baywatch gear.
Major pool. I mean, I really want to see the red bathing costume. Big imposing gates. Let's go into the house because I want to show you something. There's a couple of Easter eggs. I got to say the front of the house, if you want to know what it looks like, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house.
Yes.
It looks like Uncle Phil's house up front.
Yeah.
Hey?
It does look very fancy.
It does look, but Encino, that's
very California, yeah.
Very California. That's what the front of the house looks like. We go in, there's grand staircases.
A lot of beige. I'm just going to say at this point, lot of beige.
A lot of money. This is an interior designer, has had a look at a lot of this stuff. Artwork. We go through his house.
Oh, I like the big windows.
Big windows so that he can stand in front because, in the morning he's walking down.
Yeah.
Robe. Nothing else. And he's just standing, surveying all before
him.
His
manner.
Exactly. I want to show you some of the kind of like intimate rooms in the house.
Okay.
We go to his library and you got to look, say that lots of books for David Hasselhoff.
Are they real?
Probably not. Probably one of them that you move there and then you go into his underground sex dungeon. All those are David Hasselhoff autobiographies.
Yes.
First edition prints. I want to look, his bedroom, huge.
Jeez.
So much space for a chandelier and a pole.
Oh, nice balcony.
Great balcony.
Oh, gym. Home gym.
Good stuff. Squat machine. You got to keep those calves. You got to keep home cinema.
I thought that was the sex dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
It does look rather.
But that room has definitely Waiting for Freedom has been sung in that room many a time. Very red cinema. Hoff's backyard. A little putting green.
Nice.
Little can tee off, little sandwich. There's this bar with numerous gold and platinum records.
I see that.
A guest room with a fake Kermit the Frog.
Well, I mean, not like a toy Kermit the Frog.
I mean, everything up till now has been very classy, and then we get this weird Kermit the Frog room.
That is a bit odd.
And in his private study, what's not in this article is his private study with all his memorabilia in the background.
Don't tell me. The thing from SpongeBob? No, wait, he sold that. He sold that.
Red trunks and a red Baywatch costume. I bet you it was Pamela Anderson's. Do you think he goes and has a little sniff every now and again?
Oh, no, that's disgusting. Don't even. That's horrible.
And another Hoff story.
Mm.
Now, when you say David Hasselhoff crabs, you go, I wouldn't expect any less. But Dori, did you know, you didn't know, that there is a crab being named after David Hasselhoff? Okay.
The kind that lives in the sea, not the kind that lives in your pants.
Not in your red trunks, no. Male Hoff crabs. I'm not, Dori, this is like a legit article. Look, you know it's authenticated because the top of the article is him giving a thumbs up. David Hasselhoff. Okay. Male Hoff crabs is a species residing near hydrothermal vents in the Antarctic seafloor have evolved larger claws than their female counterparts to battle for mates. Previously, Hoff crabs, they actually looked the same, male and female. Now the males have bigger claws to fight.
Okay, hang on. Rewind. How did the crab get named after him in the first place?
Sorry, I'm so glad you asked that because the crab earned its nickname due to the dense hairs on its chest, reminiscent of the actor David Hasselhoff.
Could have been called Burt Reynolds.
These hairy chests aren't just for show. They're not.
They're not.
They cultivate bacteria that the Hoff crab feeds on.
I thought that the Q Lazzarus story was the most interesting thing I learned during the show. You have blown that away.
The Hoff has
blown it.
Look at their hairy little chests. Look at them. You see the hairy little chests.
That's too much. That's too much.
Oh, and I honestly think we're just going to start wrapping it up there because
that you cannot follow that with anything.
No.
Nothing.
I mean, you really would think that a story about like somebody who just denied the existence of their pop career despite making one of the most iconic songs used in a movie ever could not be topped. And then we find the story about David Hasselhoff and crabs. That is not what you expected it to be.
No.
So I assume that's your favorite thing you learned in the shit.
For sure.
This has been That 80 Show. Everything you heard on the show can be found at 80 Show SA on Facebook. Or if you're interested while you're listening, we talk about a lot of stuff we're looking at. Just go to show notes, click on it, and you can find trailers we're talking about, Hoff pictures, Hoff crabs. You can find...
You better put those Hoff crabs up.
God, that's so easy. I'm not even going to take it. Have a sip of water there, Dori, and thank you for joining me.
Bye.
Goodbye.